Hey, okay, this is part 3 of my One Direction experiences. Okay, so we're still at Mohegan Sun. It's still the day of when I saw them at the restaurant. So, we go back to the elevators, and they get in, and we're, like, looking at the floors that they're stopping at. They're stopping at every floor to try to throw us off. And so we're like, oh, God, like, what floor are they going to be on? And so my friend goes, oh, I have a feeling that they're going to be on this floor. Like, I don't know. I just know. I'm like, okay, so why not just go up there, right? So we go up to the floor, and, like, these girls that I had seen before were there, and, like, we were kind of friends with them. So we're like, oh, hey, guys. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is our floor. We're just sitting here. I'm like, okay. So they're just, like, we're just chilling. We're like, I wonder where they could be. I turn my head, and freaking Zayn is in the hallway with, because I saw this guy, first of all, and he was, like, he had a beanie on, he had, like, a huge sweatshirt on, a huge baggy sweatpants, and I'm like, who is that guy? Like, he's, like, and he has, like, his head down or something like that, and then he looks up, and I'm like, it's Zayn. I'm like, oh my god, Zayn, and I, like, and said it loud enough so he could hear it, and he looks up, and he's like, and we're all like, Zayn? And there was at least, like, 13 or 15 of us, so, like, I can understand there's no security in the hallway with him. It was just him. And so I can understand why he'd be scared, because there's, like, 15 of us girls. And so two of my friends, like, bolt for him. And he, like, looks really scared. And he has, like, his eyes wide open. And so he starts running backwards. And we're like, no, Zayn, Zayn, Zayn. And then he, like, tries to open his door again. And then he starts banging on his door. And he's like, he can't get it open. He's, like, scared or whatever. And so we see that he's, like, getting really scared. And so we all stop. And we're all just like, oh, my God, Zayn, we are so sorry. Like, none of us had gotten anywhere near enough to touch him or anything. We were still, like, at least, like, a good 10 feet away from him. And so we just all start backing up. We're like, Zayn, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to scare you. And so then, like, the security guard comes out from the door right next to me. And he's like, whoa, whoa, back up, back up. It was Preston. And he's like, back up, back up, back up. I'm like, Zayn, we're still really sorry. And he's like, and so he still looked a little frazzled and stuff like that. And so then, like, the security guard goes, like, is this even your floor? And I'm like, yeah, no. We're like, we're just chilling here. And my other friends are like, oh, this is our floor. So they got to stay up there, but they had to go back to their room and stuff like that, which was, like, on the other side of the hotel. And, so he, like, walks Zayn to the elevator. I'm like, Zayn, you're, like, so gorgeous. Or, we were so sorry. Oh, my God, like, your shoes, like, your hat, like, your whatever. And he's just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he, like, whispers something to Preston, which was probably obviously, like, get me out of here. And so then Preston, like, goes in the elevator. He's like, girls, when I come back, you better be off this floor. And we're like, whatever. And so Zayn goes down the elevator. And we're like, okay, like, where are we going to go now? Like, oh, my God, we just saw, like, 3 of them. I'm like, what? So then, we're like, you know what? And my friend goes, he looks like he was going to the gym. I was like, this thing doesn't work out. What are you kidding? We're like, you know what? Let's just try at the gym. It's near that time that Andy told us to go down, so let's just go down to the gym. So we go down to the gym, and sure enough, who the hell's in the gym? Zayn Malik. And we're like, woohoo! We found him again. And so my friends go in there because they had, like, different clothes, and we didn't. And, like, me and my cousin didn't. So 2 of them went in, and the other ones sit with us because there's 3 of them and 2 me and my cousin. So we just kind of sat in the sitting area outside the gym, and so they went in there, and, like, Zayn, we could see him through the glasses, like a glass, like, opening of the gym. He's, like, looking at himself in the mirror going like that, and I was like, oh, wow, Zayn, like, you're cool. And so, so then we're sitting there, and I'm, like, just chilling like a boss. I'm just, like, you know, my legs are hanging over the chair and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I hear some voices, and I turn, and Harry's coming down with Sandy and Andy, and I was like, oh, my God, like, it's Harry. I was like, oh, my God, I don't have time to, like, whip out my phone and take a video. So I just, like, do whatever comes to mind, you know, when you see them. I just go, blurt, can I have a high five? I go, hi, Harry. And he's like, oh, hey, like, what? And I was like, can I have a high five? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he gave me, like, a high five, but it wasn't, like, a high five. It was, like, because he was, like, walking while I was, like, sitting there. So I was, like, this, and he, like, just kind of slid his hands by it. And I was like, they're so big and they're so soft. And so, so he gave all 3 of us a high five, and then my friend goes, you have really soft hands. He's like, thanks. And so he goes into the gym. I'm like, okay, fuck this. Like, I'm going in the gym now. I was like, there's no way I'm staying out here while 2 of the members of One Direction are in there. So we go into the gym, and we go up back to their, like, my friend's room, and we borrow some of their clothes, and we come back down. And as me and my friend, like, my friend was still in the room, but as me and my cousin were walking back, Zayn was coming out of the gym, and I get him the biggest smile. I'm like, hi. Like, I didn't even say his name, because, like, I don't know if he recognized me. I didn't have any One Direction merch on, so, like, I was trying to be, like, inconspicuous. And I was like, oh, hey, Zayn. And he, oh, no, I said, hi, and I gave him a huge smile. And he just, like, went, like, kind of sneered and, like, went like that. Like, I was like, well, then, okay, obviously you recognize me, like, whatever. So he walks by, and I was like, And so then we're in the gym, and Harry was on the treadmill before. Like, I didn't even realize it, but I'm on the treadmill, and I'm jogging next to Sandy. Like, I didn't know who he was at the time, but I just knew it was, like, a friend of Harry's. And then my friend comes up and whispers in my ear, and she goes, oh, my God, you're on the same treadmill as Harry was on. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I, like, secretly just, you know, like, rubbed my hands on the treadmill. I was like, yep, that's right. His sweat was on me because he was, like, behind us, like, like doing some like weight training with Andy, and so we all just kind of like running on the ellipticals and stuff like that, and like these other girls tried to get in, but they were like in mini skirts and high heels, and they're like, yeah, you're not gonna work out, so just get out of the gym now. I'm like, yeah, get out of the gym. So they didn't kick me and my friends out because we actually had gym clothes on, and we actually looked like we were working out, and Andy kind of knew us, so he was like, you know what, just leave him in here. And Paul came in and worked out in his like teeny weeny short bikini thingies, and I was like, oh hey Paul. But so yeah, and so Josh was in there too, and so was like Dan and John and whatever. So it was like pretty much all One Direction, like security. Preston was in there too. We're all just having a good time, you know, and we're pretending like we're like ah! I feel like we were really loud, but we didn't know it at the time, so they were probably like, what creepers. And so then, like, Harry's doing, like, freaking sit-ups next to us, and, like, freaking, like, he's, like, holding onto a rod that you do pull-ups with, and he's, like, twisting his, like, torso, so he's, like, freaking, like, giving me and my friends a heart attack, and then all of a sudden, I look up, and Liam walks in, and I was like, oh my god, so it was, like, pretty awesome. And so Liam just comes behind us. He starts like doing like pull down things that like I don't know what he was doing, and then Harry comes and sits like literally right next to me and my friend, and he starts like doing this thing where he's like laying on his back and he grabs onto Andy's ankles, and Andy's like pushing his legs down, and you could see right up his shorts, and I was like. And my cousin, she was running on the treadmill next to me, and she was watching Harry, because we all were, and then she just falls, she kind of trips off the treadmill, and it was so embarrassing, but, I mean, we were all just like, oh my god, we were all, like, laughing, and I swear, one of them laughed, and I was like, this is awkward now, but it was really funny. And so yeah, and then Harry and, well, no, Josh and, like, and Dan left first, and we're like, okay. And then Harry gets up and leaves, and he goes into the pool area, which you would see from the gym. We're like, oh god, is he gonna go in the pool? I was like, Lord have mercy if he takes off his shirt. And so he did take off his shirt, and I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, yes. So I'm like, you know what? Sorry, Liam, but Harry Styles is over there with his shirt off in the pool. I was like, I gotta go. So me and my friends all leave, because I mean we were sweating anyway, and it was really gross. You don't want to sweat in front of One Direction. And so we all leave, and we go to put on our like bikini or whatever, or bathing suits. I didn't even have a bathing suit, so I kind of just like put on a tank top. And we made friends with the pool guy before. See, it comes back to you. We made friends with the pool guy, and like One Direction security wanted to shut it down because like girls were just like sitting around the edge of the pool. It was really really creepy. And so he was like, you can't shut down the pool. And so we're like, and he let us in because you know we're homies with the pool guy. So we went upstairs to go, to get our bathing suits on, and as we were coming back down, Harry was getting out of the pool, and so it was like me and my friend and my other friend, well, me and my cousin and my other friend, and we were just kind of like, we walked by, and he had his shirt off, and he had like a towel or his shirt like on his shoulder, and it was just like, oh no, his towel was around his waist, and his shirt was on his shoulder like that, and Sandy was with him, and he had no security, and I was like, I should have asked for a hug or a picture or something, or anything, an autograph, I don't know. But, I mean, he had his shirt off, and I was momentarily stunned, like, to the point of no return. So I was like, and I kind of just, I was like, what do I stare at? Do I stare at his chest? Do I stare at his face? Do I stare at his what? So I stared at his nipples. Yes, I did. I counted all 4 of them just to make sure they were real and not mythical, like the Loch Ness Monster. I was like, there it is right there. So, yes, indeed, there are 4 nipples, and I've seen them in real life, and they are gorgeous, and he has an amazing body. And so he was like, hi, and we're just like we probably look like we had, like, some kind of mental disability, and he just went like, and I'm like, yeah, you know that you're hot, and it's unfair. Unfair. Okay, so this is the end of this other video. There's gonna be another one. Sorry, I talk a lot.